Hello, beautiful ones. This is Natalie Restored, your Lightworker mentor. Welcome to this spontaneous podcast. I'm still building my podcast library that will be available to you very soon. But this one I shared on Facebook as I am recording it live. So you might be on Facebook, you might be on YouTube, you might be on my personal private page and group. Well, welcome for this. Welcome to this new experience, this new topic, new experience, because the podcast experience is new for me. If you're joining here for the first time, I am a Lightworker mentor. I channel people's, mainly Lightworkers, higher self and star team to help them unlock their next steps, their next level of intuitive powers, whatever they're meant to unlock to be in alignment with their life purpose, with their mission. So this is a podcast. Feel free to ask your questions as we are live right now. Today's topic is based on a session I had today with one of my students. And it also connects with the Facebook Live we had yesterday and today as a replay. We were talking about the misconceptions of the lightworking life, what people think, and how us as lightworkers, we perceive it. So the Lightworker experience, as you grow your powers, as you elevate your frequency, is multidimensional. If you feel that all you have to do is focus on expressing your intuitive powers and sharing your gifts and focusing on the light you're sharing, you will restrain, you will slow down your awakening process. You will not completely evolve in your growing, elevating, learning experience. It is important that you look at every facet of who you are, at every aspect of who you are, and you're a human being. So when you work with me, and when you work on your own as you're growing your powers, there will be times where it becomes a necessity to look inward and look at your own trauma and look at your own blocks, but also to look at what is encoded energetically in you. You might feel sometimes you're depleted, you are going through or experiencing beliefs that are energetically taking you down, but you don't feel it's based on anything you have experienced, and you still wonder why you have those mindsets around anything. Could be health, it could be abundance, it could be money, it could be empowerment, it could be self-confidence. And today's session with my student is actually fully and completely representative of that example, that light workers may have a tendency to focus as they develop their growth. They mainly focus on developing their intuitive gifts, connecting with their higher self, their star team, and sometimes disregarding the human aspect or the ancestral aspect. When you move up, when you rise into your powers, that aspect may come through. Today, the person I had a session with was physically feeling out of balance, energetically lacking the motivation. So apparently it did not feel like it was connected to any kind of spiritual causes. It felt that it was more, from my student's point of view, it felt that it was more an energetic or a physical issue. So when I channel with my students, I don't need to talk for hours about what they're going through because everything is channeled. So I do trust that whatever their higher self and the star team has to say, that is what will come through. That's where the connections, the answers, and the shift will come through. So all I needed to hear is, what do you need to work on? And the answer from my student was, I want to focus on my energy level. I feel depleted. I feel out of balance. I feel drained, even though I'm not working much lately, even though I am, I'm not super busy. So in her reality, there was nothing that would have explained why she was feeling depleted. So when connected, and that is part of the work we do throughout the different months. So as we were channeling, her higher self and a cosmic being came through, reminding her of her biorhythm. And that's something we'll talk about in my next masterclass coming next week on the 27th of April and 28th. More details are coming up. The biorhythm, your biological rhythm, unique to you, that is going pretty much through the same steps for everyone, but each step may last a different amount of days, and the intensity of those different periods might be different. So through the session, the higher self and her guide, her cosmic guide, really wanted her to understand biologically, energetically, how she's working, how she is transmuting energy, and how she is expressing her energy. So that was important. That was the first step of the channeling for that specific session with my students. So we went through understanding when she has a high level of energy and how to physically recognize it. Again, this is a personal experience. You need to understand it for yourself personally. The way I describe it will be, of course, very different for you. There's always a moment where you feel a surge of energy. Everything is possible. You're ready to conquer the world, and you feel you're ready to start new projects. Then there's a phase of plateau where you feel you cannot accept more projects. It doesn't seem to move forward, and still you're keeping a certain level of energy that allows you to continue. And then there's the downfall. There's the moment where you need to start to let go within, integrate everything, and potentially hibernate if that is in your biorhythm. So that's what we went through. She understood the whole process and how it works for her. That was great. But there was another element, a very important element that was encoded within her, that was keeping her in a vibration of fight or flight constantly, that was always maintaining some kind of tension within her. And that was a connection, an ancestral connection. So an entity, a being who had crossed over, joined the session. Actually, he was a male. He did join the conversation, the channeling right at the beginning, but we needed to clarify the biorhythm element before we could understand why her biorhythm is working this way. What is she carrying on that seems to deplete her without any important source or any known factor? So we realized that being, that entity, was actually part of her physical ancestry as who she is right now. So it's not a past life, it's a being in her lineage who had a life, and his life, without getting too much in the details, I want to respect my client's privacy. That being, which I feel was 3 to 4 generations prior to her actual incarnation, had gone through a traumatic event, war, and that the trauma hasn't been resolved. There was the traumatic experience, and obviously we can easily figure it out. Whatever that being saw, whatever the wounds, and how to recover from it, the years following, encoded a deep fight or flight information in his genes. We're talking about 4 to 5 generations before. And he came through giving us a name that my student could relate back to her mom's side. That being had experienced war and unfortunately didn't have the chance in his lifetime to heal the wounds of the war. Meaning that in his lifetime, he probably still was feeling a lot of fight or flight constantly, so not feeling relaxed, always on a very high alert mode. So the being did the whole job. That's what is amazing with the work I do. It's not like we don't need to ask the being or the energy present do the work because we need, it's just happening. If a being shows up during our sessions, it's because the work is ready to be done. The clearing is ready to be done. So that ancestor, the ancestor of my client, of my student, showed up with words such as, you are experiencing right now a trauma that I had. It has been passed on through generation, and it will stop with you because we're doing this work right now. So he needed to tell her why and explain why unconsciously she was expressing moments of fear, of energy drain, depletion, anxiety, stress. Always anxiety is not feeling safe and secure. So it was passed on through the genes, through the different generations. And we know that epigenetics is explaining this. So now we kind of have a scientific proof that it is and can be passed on. Will it be expressed in your lifetime? Maybe not. But you may carry within you, in your biology, in your body, unresolved trauma from previous incarnations, not your own incarnations, but previous ancestors of yours. So the work was done simply by her allowing the conversation with her ancestor through the channeling, understanding and showing why energetically she was still carrying this fight or flight response without being able fully to target why she was reacting this way, was already unlocking the healing. So this is what we did. The conversation happened. Clarity came through. We thanked the ancestor. And not only did it release my students from an old genetic entanglement that will stop with her generation, with her, but also we did release this being, this soul, from the duty of carrying the message. This being, this entity waited for the perfect time to release his own karmic weight through the healing of his great daughter, great granddaughter. Again, you know how many generations, as I said, probably 4 or 5 generations prior to her life right now. So you understand the importance, but also the beauty of the work. Not only do you heal yourself through the work you do to unlock your intuitive powers, it's not just a hobby thing. It could be like, I want to become more clairvoyant. I want to become a healer. That might be the initial motivation, but the work is really multidimensional. You bring healing onto you. You boost your self-confidence. You understand your soul purpose. You're clearing ancestral entanglements and coding, as she did today. You review and clear past life entanglements as well. So the impact is not just on the development of your intuitive powers. It's also impacting your everyday life. This person will respond a lot better to tension in her life. Energetically, she has cleared, through our work together, she has cleared the automatic response her body was generating because it had been coded before from a previous ancestor experience of life during a wartime. It is fascinating. So again, when you invest time, focus, and energy in developing your intuitive powers, and you know you're here to make a difference in this world, you're not just investing in the magic aspect of what it is to be a human being. You are not only showing the world what it means and what it can be to be a fully aligned human, embodying the multidimensionality of what it is to be also expressing your magic gift, but you're also healing yourself. And of course, everybody you interact with. You are healing yourself. You are repairing your biology. And you're making your everyday life a lot more agreeable. It is a global healing. The globality of who you are is being healed. So working with me in developing your intuitive powers to become an aligned and abundant light worker, to develop your intuitive powers because you know the mission is calling you to be of service, is one thing. What you can expect is also self-healing, physical regeneration, because you're healing yourself, because your beliefs are shifting. It's not focusing only on the magic aspect of who you are. It's also focusing on the entire expression of your soul into your incarnation right now. Body, emotions, energy, and intuitive powers. So if you have any questions, of course, feel free to share them in the comment sections. I will be very happy to read them. And if you feel that you're ready to up level to the next step, to the next level of your intuitive powers, well, you have many options. You can start by joining my free community on Facebook. Just search Abundant Lightworker or Lightworker Starseed Rising. You will find me. The official title is Abundant and Aligned Lightworkers. If you're beyond connecting to my free group and you realize that, look, not only do I want to increase my intuitive powers, but I also want to actively accelerate healing, my emotional healing, my energetic healing, my physical healing, as I am developing my intuitive powers. Well, maybe it's time for us to have a chat, a consult, a heart-to-heart loving conversation where we will discuss what you have acquired, what you feel is blocking you, and we will map out your next steps. We will map out your next ideal steps to help you evolve happily as a light worker, as a happy and loving light worker. So I do invite you to simply type natalierestore.com as you see on the screen right now /chat. And you will be able to choose your date and we can have that serious chat. You deserve healing, and your healing will automatically bring healing onto you. And of course, onto anyone around you. And of course, your potential and future clients. When you heal yourself, the way you share your gift it's purified. It's at another level. So I'm wishing you a great day and hope to chat very soon with you. Sending you all my love. Bye for now.